Now I'm Awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Chris. And today I am talking to Janet O'Fury, the founder of Joy by Design, which is a soup to nuts design, interior design company. My family has used Janet ourselves, and we've also referred her to several clients. She does an outstanding job. And today I just wanted to talk to Janet a little bit about her business and the why behind it. So with that, Janet, tell me, I'll give you a couple of basic prompts. So when did you start? How many people do you employ? And what got you into the business?
Hey, Chris. Well, first of all, that little countdown, I felt like we were having a happy new year. Like all this confetti. I was like, what is going on right now?
I love that countdown. It makes it so official.
I love that. Yes, thank you for having me. So yeah, I actually, a little bit about me. I was a teacher for 10 years back in Maryland, and we moved to North Carolina in 2015. I was super pregnant, and we kind of uprooted everything to bring our family here and didn't have any family or friends in the area. Wow. So while I was nesting, I kind of made it a goal to build a foundation in our home that I felt comfortable at and our little immediate family could really connect with and feel love and feel joy. Through that and meeting people in the Raleigh and Wake Forest area, people would come over and ask who our interior designer was. And in Maryland,
I'm pretty sure I asked you that once.
I do think you did, actually. Yeah. But in Maryland, that wasn't a thing. Like maybe like closer to DC, but not for like people in my neighborhood. Like we just didn't do that, which was, I mean, very flattering. And there was enough times that this was asked that when I had some friends ask if I would come and help them with their home, with styling, designs and ideas, I took them up on it, and it kind of just spiraled from there. And through a lot of support of my husband and my friends, that extra little push and really just letting me know that there was something extra and different inside me that did have this eye for design. I took that leap of faith and went out on my own, and here we are today, which is awesome.
So I bet that a lot of people watching have a side hustle, and that's super, super common today.
Yes.
And so at one point, it sounds like this was your side hustle. So
absolutely.
Talk a little bit about the decision point. When did you know, like, okay, it's time to stop making this a hobby and turn this into a business? Let's go. What kind of led to that decision? Was there just one event that happened, or was it a culmination of things? Because I imagine other people are having that conversation in their head right now.
So I love that you brought this up, because I actually have had several conversations with women who are around my age also, and have reached out and asked the same thing. You're a teacher and now you're an interior designer. Like, how does this happen? I knew when I had left Maryland that I would love to stay in education, but not necessarily go back inside the classroom. And I kind of just wished for something to organically happen, as that, crazy as that sounds. And this designing for myself and for others really did fulfill that joy and allowed me to use that creative side that I also used while I was teaching as well. It wasn't until my daughter was about 1 year old, my youngest of three, my mom of three, where I started to feel like I was losing myself and my identity. And at that point was when I decided, I need something else other than being a mom who takes the kids to all of their extracurriculars and is cleaning diapers all day and picking up a mess. Right. And that's kind of where I started to pursue reading more about interior design and practicing with more, friends and family. And then again, that's kind of where it transpired. I did, these other people who have reached out to me ask the same thing, kind of when and why. And it wasn't an overnight decision. I would say that it definitely happened gradually over time, until it got to that point where I was like, oh my goodness, I'm actually doing this.
Gradually and then suddenly, right?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a mom of three, dabbling a little bit, and then boom, now you're a business owner.
Yes.
So talk to me, if you are willing to be a little bit vulnerable. Talk to me about what you were experiencing kind of behind the shield when you were making that decision. Were you dealing with any sort of like fears or self-doubts that you had to navigate?
Yeah. So I had a lot of fear. I had a lot of self-doubt. I set a goal that first year to have 4 clients. And if those clients wanted to use me for, more than one job, I would consider that to be a success. So I do think I went with kind of a low bar standard. And that was more just, from my mindset to know that I had an attainable goal. And if I met that, then I succeeded, because this is very new and there's a lot of competitors in the Raleigh area.
Sure.
But I think it's very natural for all of us in any business to have doubt. And it was baby steps. I took a year to try to figure out how exactly I wanted to run my business. I'm really big on transparency and openness. That was really important to me. And that's kind of how I founded my contract with my clients, and kind of the way that my model works, which is a little bit different from some of the designers in the area as well. But I also have this belief that if you don't push yourself, you're not going to grow. And I didn't want to get stuck either. So knowing that things might be a little bit challenging, a little bit uncomfortable for a while, it was worth it for me. I also didn't have a lot of overhead. I don't have a brick and mortar. So
Sure.
for me, that was kind of an easy decision of, I don't have to put cash out.
Yeah.
I can go for this, and see what happens. And actually that first year I ended up having not 4, but close to 50 clients.
Wow.
So it was
Holy smokes.
pretty unbelievable.
That
Yeah,
is
pretty unbelievable.
outstanding. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
now, I mean, honestly, though, like, good problem and a problem nonetheless, right? Because here you are anticipating 4 customers and now
Yes,
you have 50. So your business has to look very different to support 50 as it did to support 4, right?
that's right. That's
What were
right.
those challenges to scale and still deliver, to your own standard of service?
So the pandemic, during the pandemic, as many people know, I mean, the housing industry, right, was insane. You fought
Sure,
for us. Thank you. Gorman Residential won our dream home. I mean, we were at your mercy, right, Chris? Like, just give them what they want. We will take it. So with the housing market, it was crazy. And I
yeah,
think that's honestly why my clientele was so high, is that people were in this position where either they had bid on so many houses and they kept losing out, that they were like, fine, we're
yeah,
going to settle up here. Or I had clients who all of a sudden, it wasn't just a luxury of having an office in their home, it was a mandatory need.
sure.
So we changed lots of dining rooms and
That makes
bedrooms
sense.
into offices. And then the other thing was people that, again, they, either decided that they could not live in their community anymore based off of, living in solitude and maybe not connecting with the community. So they went and moved elsewhere, or clients who just settled for, their 5th choice and had a home that they needed lots of improving to.
Right.
So I would say, thankfully for me, while there was a delay on major pieces of furniture, all of my projects are kind of revolving door. So I could take on multiple clients at one time. And it's really just juggling and balance and keeping track of, all right, what are we waiting on for these clients, coffee table, whatever. Built-ins are easier for me. I do most of my bargain shopping at Home Goods, and that's for all the finishing pieces. So I can see it, touch it, piece everything together ahead of time rather than buying everything online. But really just, I guess, kind of that's where my teaching skills came in, making sure that I was super organized and lots of running checklists. But yeah, it's a lot.
Did you have help, or was it all just you?
So it is all just me. I do have an assistant that helps on install days. I did try taking that on myself at the beginning and, trying to move a couch by myself or making sure that the picture's level and, holding nails in my mouth and a hammer in my right elbow. Like, it was just a lot. So I do have Jessica Minas, who is my assistant, and she, she's a dear friend. And we also met at the gym at Find a Way Fitness. I love that you connected with Kevin yesterday. And she's just been, we're super efficient at our jobs now. And she's just my wing girl. She's phenomenal.
That's awesome. Yeah. Nobody succeeds alone. We all need help.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, not a lot of people know this, but I was an art major in school, and I think I told you that at one point. But I would never, and all my clients know this, I would never try to give my clients advice on interior design. So we have always contracted with somebody to do that when it comes to, like, if they're preparing their house for sale, because it is such a specialty. And you have just got an amazing eye for it, an amazing knack for spaces. So for those people that might be watching who maybe they're getting ready to take on a project or they're thinking about doing something, what are some things that, if you're approaching a new project, what are some like standard questions you might ask, or things that seem to kind of repeat themselves? I know each job is probably unique, but what types of things or advice, I guess, would you give to somebody who might be considering a remodel or something like that?
Anything like that?
Yeah.
So one thing is, I really don't favor virtual consultations. And the reason I don't really choose—
Is that pretty common in your industry for folks to do?
I would say it's hit or miss. Yeah. For me, it's just, I think I do pride myself on the connection that I develop with my clients. And there's something about going into a home and really getting that feeling of the environment. So that is one key thing that I always go in and I kind of just, evaluate how the home feels. Mm-hmm. The bigger things that I would look at are kind of the color palette that they like in their homes. We have clients that love cooler palettes. I have clients who will, very from the beginning say that they are not afraid of color, which I love, boldness. But I also love the simplicity of, like all white with just, pops of colors in their accent pieces. So colors are a big thing. The other thing that I try to get a feel for in a monitor is their style. So sometimes I'll go into a home and it is a pure bachelor pad that they have had, just pieces handed down from their aunts and their uncles and deceased grandparents and all the things, right? So it's kind of this hodgepodge. And they say, oh, well, we want our room to look exactly like this one that you have on your Instagram. I'm like, okay, well, you understand we've got to change, a lot to make that happen. Right. So going from that, it's okay, what kind of style are we're trying to achieve? And many people can't articulate exactly what style they like, but they're really great at saying, yes, we like this, or no, we don't like that. Sometimes I'll ask if they have Pinterest boards to show me, kind of their inspiration. So that's something that's definitely important as well. I'm trying to think what else.
Well, so like, where would you go to? I know you taught me something I didn't know. So I don't remember when it was, last year, the year before. Samantha went with you to market.
Yes.
Which is a thing.
Yes.
And so I know that is one way that you like to stay kind of apprised of the latest and greatest. Are there other resources that you use on a regular basis to see kind of what's coming down the pipe on the cutting edge of design?
Yeah, so I do have, I subscribe to InStyle, so I'll regularly read that. And honestly, there's a lot of influencers online that have just kind of caught my attention. One thing that I will say, I think differentiates me from some of the other designers is that if you look at my portfolio, you're not going to see the same design repeated over and over.
Right.
And that is kind of one of those things that I was saying when I do go into a client's home, I'm going to look at color schemes. I'm going to look at the styles they want, but also I want the home to reflect them and their
Sure.
personality as well. And while I think that coastal chic is beautiful, I also love mid-century modern. You know, there's people who still love the Joanna Gaines farmhouse style, which is wonderful. So I do want to make sure that, you know, my eyes are being opened and exposed, and that I am, you know, reading up on all different styles as well, just to make sure that all of my clients are happy with their designs as well. And I do think that that's something else, is that you can mix designs. No, you know, you can't say, or you shouldn't say, you know, I just love all modern, right? It's okay to blend those designs as long as it flows throughout your house and matches also the style of your home as well.
Yeah, I love that you kind of bring the personality of the client into the decision-making process, because you're right. A lot of times you can get into a situation where you're doing the same thing over and over and over, and you're saying, well,
Yes.
you know, we know what works, what looks good, so just reuse it. But
Yeah.
there again, you're not really inviting the client into the design process and trying to tailor a solution around their personality. So I love that you take that approach.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. So if somebody wants to
Absolutely.
reach you and talk to you about design projects they might have, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so they can email me at joybydesignllc.nc@gmail.com. And they can also find me on both Instagram and Facebook. And that's at Joy by Design LLC.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you so
Janet.
much,
See you
Chris.
soon.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thank you. Bye.